Hello and welcome back to the Orminators. What I am showing now is the Arcade1Up Home Arcade, the Galaga Galaxian edition. So I first noticed the Arcade1Ups, I think a couple years ago. I was in a Think Geek and I saw the Pac-Man that they had in there. I thought those were pretty cool. I'd really like to have one of those. But I was married at the time, and the now ex-wife, obviously, it's like, oh, what are you, 12? Well, to be perfectly honest, I think that's what these kind of machines are aimed for. Now, there are other, arcade, especially ones based on MAME and things like that, that are, more full size, have a lot more games and things like that. But these are purpose-built to look almost exactly like the originals in the arcades. Now, one of the really cool things about these things is that because they are a little bit smaller, they'll fit into a smaller space. Whether you have an apartment or a small basement or even a regular house that you have a small room that you can convert into an arcade. And I can't imagine any person over the age of 45, going on to my age, I'm 50 years old, that wouldn't like to have one of these or several of these to have a little, almost like, it is a big time nostalgia play, because, admit it, these kind of games, they are definitely old school graphics, old school sounds. I mean, we're talking, 8-bit graphics, 16-bit at best, 8-bit and 16-bit sounds, things like that, compared to the games that they have today, wouldn't compare. But when you have a chance to kind of make almost like a mini little arcade, like the ones that we used to go to and feed quarters in our youths, who wouldn't want something like that? So definitely one of those things that's, it's going to be made for people with disposable income and a very, very strong sense of nostalgia. So in this particular video, I am going to go ahead and unbox this thing and build it. Now, I've got my GoPro all set up. We're going to do a time lapse of that. That way, you don't have to sit through all the real tedious stuff, and I'll pause every once in a while to add a little bit of color commentary and context to the things that I am doing here. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing and get started. Oh, I guess before I get into that, this particular unit I got from Target. I ordered on Target.com. Now I have one of those red cards where you get the 5% discount whenever you purchase anything. Anyways, go to Target.com. You'll find out how to use a red card. In any case, you get a 5% discount. And one of the perks that I got was also a 10% discount on any online purchase. So I got 10% off of the original price, which was $3.99, and then 5% on top of that. So I did not pay full price for this, but at the same time, it's not a sponsored video. I just know, it's just interesting because I always thought, they are kind of expensive, even though they're a little bit smaller, and they only got, this one particular one only has 2 games. So yeah, I was looking for a deal and managed to put one together, so I'm pretty happy with that. And so, okay, now let's go ahead and get started with the build. Now we have all of the main pieces. This will be the lower kick panel from the front. The marquee, it's not the light up version. The main deck, which is pretty kind of cool. When you look at it, it's got the standard joystick there. And when you look at it from the back, it's really, that's the whole thing right there. This is the magic box, if you will, and there's where the ribbon cable plugs in and everything else. And it's got a nice deck protector on there so that the graphics don't wear off. And then here's the 17-inch monitor that comes with it. Again, the graphics are very nice. I haven't unwrapped all the plastic from it yet. And on the back, you can kind of see some of the detail there. And then the ribbon cable, which plugs into, which looks like an old standard 40-pin IDE cable that we used to use when we built PCs and connected hard drives to the motherboard. So that's kind of interesting there. That box there is the riser, which is pretty heavy, but it's not the generic Arcade1Up logoed riser. It's the one with the Galaga graphics on it, so that's kind of cool. And then there's the back panel, and then of course standing up there in the up against the wall there is are the main side panels. And then over here, your instructions, which again clearly state, and I think other videos have talked about this before, that you're not supposed to use power tools on this. They definitely recommend that really all you need is a Phillips head screwdriver. And then there's your bag o' parts that we'll be using to put this thing together. So here is the Galaga by Arcade1Up, fully constructed, but at the same time, I think you can see why the riser is necessary. It comes up right about to about my chest here. Pretty short. I guess if I got down on my knees, I can play it as it is. So fortunately, this one, it ships with the riser, so I'm gonna go ahead and build that and get it all plugged in and see how it goes. Yeah, that was actually pretty fast. So this is the completed cabinet. I just got finished building the riser. So the front end looks actually pretty nice, but I was kind of surprised that there were no graphics on the sides. But that's okay, because the graphics on the main panels on the sides are kind of the main point behind the whole thing. Now, when I had it up there before, you can kind of see how short it was. Now, with the riser on, I am 5 feet 8 inches tall. So you can see now it's at a height really actually perfect for anybody 6 feet and below, and probably above 5 feet 2 or 3 inches tall. Anything shorter than that, and they're going to be kids, and you're going to want to have the no riser, and it'll be on the ground, and then adults would have to either play it sitting down or kneeling. But yeah, so it's all complete, and we're going to go ahead and turn this thing on. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Will the magic occur? Oh, there we go. Good sound. All right. Little boot up screen. You can select whichever you want. Press A to select the game. And there's first player. Press 1 to continue. And now it's in Galaga mode. So this is fantastic. I love it. So I'm going to move you a little bit closer, so let's see how it plays. Woo! Can you hear the sound? Just like the original. All right, so here we are. Machine's all hooked up, and yeah, it sounds like the original. And we'll go ahead and give it a little play. One of the nice things about it is that it does keep your high scores. I played it a little bit last night, and as I'm still filming today, it's kind of cool. I played it a few times, and it plays really, really nicely. I love the fit and finish, the color. Do I wish it had the light up marquee? Oh, you know, maybe, maybe not. It doesn't. I don't need to have it like an exact duplicate. Obviously, from a size perspective, it's not the same either. So I'm not going to nitpick over little things like that. I do like the fact that it's got the protective deck there. So yeah, just so that you can kind of see what it sounds like. Again, just like the original, very, very cool. And the buttons are very, very well built. It doesn't feel cheap, even though, you know, it's only a few $100. I guess only being a relative term at this point. The graphics are spot on. I mean, it's not a CRT like the original, so there's not going to be as much flicker or anything like that, and we're not going to have to worry about burn-in or anything like that. But the joystick is feels very well made. The buttons, again, well made, very well constructed. You know, it's a fun little cabinet. It's a fun little cabinet. And as I get more of these, I'll be, you know, I just got my Pac-Man machine in as well, so I'll be putting that together, and we'll do a video on that one. But overall, again, this is almost purely a nostalgia play. And it's a nostalgia play for people who've got the ability to drop a few $100s. Again, this was about I paid less than list price on this at Target because of the discounts that I had. So that was kind of nice. I probably wouldn't have done it otherwise. In fact, I'd been arguing with myself over it for a bit about you know, do I want to pay that much money? You know, but once I was able to get some discounts on it, it made it worth it from that standpoint. So in any case, I love it. I like the way it feels. I like the way it plays. I love the sounds. I like the graphics on it, the way that the screen displays. It's going to look really nice lined up with other machines once I kind of start building out my little home arcade. So yeah, if you like this video, please smash that thumbs up button and give it a share or a like or anything else that that makes you feel good, or, you know, helping out my channel, get some growth and some views here. And if you want to see other content similar to this, leave a comment down below. I've got other machines. Oh, so a couple of things. Number one, if this ever gets back to Arcade1Up, some additional vector graphics games, because I'm eventually going to get the Star Wars cabinet probably. But some additional vector graphics games that I would really like to see would be like Battlezone and Red Baron. I really like that sort of tank playing game, and that was really enjoyable to play. So that would be a good one to do. I know they can do it. Obviously, they've got their Asteroids game, which has Lunar Lander. Both of those are vector graphics style games, as well as Tempest. I do enjoy Tempest, so you need the little spinny knob thing there. Maybe they already have one. I'd have to look into that. Yeah, I really enjoyed putting this together. Again, if you do any sort of IKEA, if you've ever built IKEA furniture, you can build one of these cabinets. It's very, very simple. It took me less than 90 minutes, probably barely a little over an hour to do, as you can see from the time-lapse video that I had going on there. So, yep, very much so. Again, thank you very much for watching.